People can say all day, I'm chosen, I'm chosen, I'm a chosen one, I'm a set apart one, I got independent thought and whatever you want to say. But if your actions ain't lining up with what you saying, then obviously it ain't true. Like, many people will sit there and be like, yeah, I'm a chosen one too, but yet they're afraid right now. Like, the chosen ones of the Most High, those of us that love to like just delve into studying, reading, watching documentaries, no matter how long they are, from credible sources that bear witness with our spirit. It's not about their quote unquote credentials as this world standards. One of the ways you can kind of check and just bounce off of something, like, look at the ratings and the numbers, their numbers, like their amount of subscribers and the amount of likes that they get on their video. Most of the ones that are telling the truth don't get that many likes and subscribers. And most of the ones that have millions of likes and subscribers are a part of the beast system. Because narrow is the path to righteousness. Narrow is the path to everlasting life. And wide is the gate to destruction. And the majority of the people are wearing masks. Majority of the people have been wearing masks for like a year now. And majority of the people are going to go get vaccinated. That's broad and wide. Wide is the gate to destruction. Narrow is the path of righteousness. Narrow is the path to salvation and everlasting life. They're telling you need to get a vaccination, while at the same time throwing in your face with advertisements everywhere you look, the flesh and blood of the Father's innocent creation. Death and destruction is what they feed you. They've taken control over all the food sources as far as agriculture. Where are all the fruit trees? Why are they spraying the grass with weed killers when dandelion is a gift from the Most High? It is very beneficial to our temples, to our bodies, but yet they want to spray it with weed killer. You think these people care about you? These people are diabolical. They literally are the seed of Satan. And yes, they have their flunkies. Those that you see, the media, those that are in front of the media, the Muppets, the puppets that are being controlled by the secrecy, the secret group behind them. Come on, man. But you want to blow it off like it's conspiracy theory. The Illuminati and the Bilderberg group and all of that shit. I want to blow it off like it's a conspiracy theory, but you don't even understand who came up with that term. The CIA. Like, I ain't got nothing to be afraid about. Because I rock with the Most High. I'm not going to let these people make me afraid to live life. For a whole year during this so-called pandemic of 2020, I started DoorDash in January of 2020. And I dashed all year long to January 14th of 2021. For the whole year. I got sick one time And it was halfway through the day. Halfway through the day, I started, and the symptoms like happened really, really fast. Like, cause it was one thing after the next. First, I felt like really tired and faint. Then I started having a runny nose. Then it got stuffy, and I had a fever. I had the chills. All these things in like one night, like one thing after another, and it started like midday, and by the night it was horrible. Like I could barely breathe. I had a stuffy nose and all. And normally you have a runny nose and all of that, for a day or so before you start getting the stuffy head. But all of this happened within less than 12 hours. Well, about 12 hours. Less than 24 hours. Midday. And by the time I woke up the next day around 8 a.m., 8 a.m., I felt great. But the dang thing was kicking my ass before I went to sleep. I ain't gonna lie. Damn. Oh, I didn't know what the hell. I ain't never went through that before, but it was just once. And it was less than 24 hours. Less than 24 hours, got sick and recovered. I was out every day doing DoorDash. So I went into restaurants around a lot of people, got their food, got their drinks, delivered their food and their drinks to all kinds of various different people. I didn't have no fear, and I ain't wear no mask. And I didn't care about the ridicule. Ain't nobody ridicule me face to face. Other than there was a couple of places that harassed me somewhat. The workers of the shops that I was trying to go into, but only a couple. 90% of them were okay with it, because I just tell them, look, I can't safely wear the mask, which is not a lie. I need to be able to breathe the oxygen that the Father created me to be able to breathe. I don't want to significantly reduce the amount of oxygen I can breathe and then increase the freaking carbon dioxide that I'm breathing out, that I'm supposed to be breathing out freely so the trees can breathe in and then breathe back out oxygen for me. It's a part of the life cycle. But no, you've changed the life cycle into the circle of life where everything eats everything. The wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. The Most High created a diet in the beginning. He created our substance with no bloodshed, no sorrow, no pain. Everybody had plenty. The animals were happy. Man and woman was happy. The whole earth was a Garden of Eden. It was at peace. What happened? We all know, oh yeah, the earth has gotten so much more wicked. Yeah, the people have gotten so much more cold-hearted and evil towards one another. Oh yeah, hatred is just out of control. Well, where did all of this come from? And why are people so nonchalant about it? Like, it's like they don't care. Or they think that they can't do anything about it. So they just go about their merry-go life and try to just do the best that they can do. But I question this stuff. And I'm like, I see the deception. I see the world that has been pulled over our eyes to try to blind us from the truth. Everything about our life is a deception. Like every single thing that we think we believe and think that we know is a lie. And built upon foundations of lies. I mean, these things are like ingrained into our psyche from a very young age. Things like flat earth, the shape and function of the earth, that would turn your average person just completely off, because it's literally ingrained into us from a very young age that we live on a spherical ball, and gravity holds us to this ball, and that we're spinning and shooting through an infinite space, ever expanding universe. At all these crazy, insane different speeds, all adding up to 6666, 666, 66666, 6666, 66666. They glorify the number 666 like with everything that they do. HR 6666. These people love the number 6. I try not to go off on rants, but it's really hard to try to keep all of this bottled in. And then people, want to look at me like I'm crazy. Oh, I understand. I understand why you do that, because you can't comprehend the things that I know, and the things that I've come to understand. It's like way too deep for most people. They can't handle it. And it is hard for me to try to dull it down for people. I try, but then I don't know. I really wish I could find other people that I can talk to that can really grasp what I'm saying, and we can connect and be on one accord. Because I feel alone. It's like when I try to talk to people, it pushes them away. I ain't got nobody to talk to, because everybody I try to talk to, they ain't trying to come around. They ain't trying to hear. So I talk to myself now. So now I get my phone and I just start recording, because I have to have an outlet, man. They start feeding us dead flesh and blood the minute we start growing little teeth in our mouth. We get attached to flesh and blood. The tortured, mutilated animals that the Most High blessed and told to be fruitful and multiply, gave them a habitat, created their food. Oh, you think He doesn't love them? Our parents didn't know any better, because their parents didn't know any better. These things were taught to our great grandparents, and it was beaten to them as they were in slavery. And then the children were taken from the parents and put on slave ships and given to a different people. And we were raised by a different people, and we were taught things. Things were ingrained into our psyche. And then those great grandparents taught their children and ingrained it into them. And it's just been a cycle of that. And here come us. And then Generation X is what they named my generation. Generation X, like y'all X'd out. X'ing us out. They spray X's in the sky all the time. I wonder what it is about Generation X. But the Father woke me up because I had a lot of questions growing up. I couldn't just accept the social norm. I couldn't just accept, oh, life ain't fair. Well, why isn't it fair? Who made it not fair? Because you say that the Most High is good. You say that God is good, because at that time I used the term God. I'm like, you think he would create an earth that's not fair? Why would he create a place and put us here? What, like, he's not like that. If he's a God of love, if he's the Most High of love, he wouldn't create a world like that. So if life ain't fair, well, I mean, like, why do you just like accept that? And don't question where it came from and who made it not fair. You know, you don't question why we have to work for people. Why we have to have a monetary system. Why we can't just be free to like just grow the food of the, why can't we just have our land? Who are the people? Who is the evil entities that's controlling certain people to rape and pillage and steal all the land that they want upon the earth, and then create their laws and in that freaking the monetary system and the courts and all these different things and enslave everybody? And then we're just supposed to be socially acceptable to this. We're just supposed to adapt to this and just become another brick in the wall. And I've always fought against that. I've always been like, screw that, man. I don't want to be your slave. I've always had that and rebellion in that kind of aspect. I rebelled against the system. I did. I rebelled against social normity. I rebelled against everything that everybody else said was normal. And some of it was on purpose, and some of it was just because I was always an oddball. I was always different. And then people can't handle the things that I talk about. They scatter like roaches. I guess they get tired of me always wanting to talk about these things. I can't help it, man. It's what I think about. It's what's always on my mind. And I love studying. I love listening to documentaries. I'm liking Big Judah. I think I had deleted it, unsubscribed before. But a lot of what he's saying is making some sense. Except for I still don't agree that white people are Edomites. I don't agree with that at all. White people are Gentiles. And Edom is not a Gentile, so. But he makes some credible points about America not being the so-called New World. That it was actually the world for Israelites. It was our portion. And I wasn't hearing this before. I was rejecting it outright. And I'm still not 100% sure, but I'm trying to Well, I'm going to pray about it and ask the Most High that if it is the truth, for Him to lead and guide me. Because that's the way that I should do it. That's the way I've always done it. That's the way I did it about finding out who I am and my heritage. So, and that's the way I did it about finding out the shape of the earth. I didn't seek Him about who is in control over this earth back then in 2012. I just was always curious about stuff like aliens and UFOs, the Bermuda Triangle and stuff like that. Like, I was always curious of the unknown. I always wanted to know about the unknown. And back then, like, I would have been scared to go off into the occult, because it had been ingrained into me that the occult is evil. Ooh, the occult. like it's witchcraft to even read an occult book. But people don't understand and or realize that occult only means hidden. It only means secretive knowledge. It doesn't mean something evil. Now, people have taken hidden knowledge and have used it for evil, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the occult itself or the hidden knowledge itself is evil. Anyway, peace out.